We know our first responders dedicate their lives to protecting us, but what happens when the weight of that service becomes too much to carry? Well, today we're joined by Jo Terry, who's made it her mission to provide support for police, firefighters, veterans, and their families who are dealing with PTSD and occupational stress. So, Jo, thank you for being with us here today on the show.
Thank you for having me.
For those who are unfamiliar with your story, tell us a little bit about Chip and the incredible life that you built together.
So Chip and I were college sweethearts and got married shortly after college, started a family. He was a career firefighter. I was a physical therapist. We were married for 31 years, have 6 children. We had an incredible life. You know, he was my best friend and my partner, and lost him tragically to suicide in 2017 after being misdiagnosed. He accurately diagnosed himself with PTSD, but was considered to have substance use disorder and labeled more or less an alcoholic. But I don't believe in my heart that was really the case. I think he used his alcohol to help him quiet his mind and try to sleep. Because he quit cold turkey when they told him, you need to stop drinking. And he didn't drink again until the night he died. So a tragic end to a beautiful life. And here I am, a widow, trying to make a difference and leave a legacy behind that Chip would be proud of.
Oh, I'm sure, Jo. And what's amazing is you've been able to turn this unimaginable loss and really into a mission to be able to help others and their families too. Talk about the work you're doing to help the first responders, the veterans, and again, their families as well.
Right, so I'm happy to say that, you know, from 2017 to today, the barriers to receiving care are being broken down by a lot of different groups. The access to funding is improving, although I don't think we're where we need to be. So I think regionally in this market, we have a good handle on how to care for the individual first responder. And people in the greater Cincinnati area, Ohio and Kentucky in particular, are doing an amazing job taking care of the individual. Unfortunately, we're leaving family members behind. And having lived with PTSD in my family, and watching the exposure that my children experienced, I know firsthand that we need to start addressing some of those traumas that are left in the home. Otherwise, it becomes a generational traumatic life for these kids. Mm-hmm. So we have partnered with some unbelievable organizations. I can name them. You know, in Columbus, it's the First Responder Bridge, which is a free weekend retreat for couples to start learning and educating them about what their resources are. Mm-hmm. I always talk about it being PTSD 101, where they learn what it really is and what it does to the brain. Mm-hmm. And then they're offered all of these different tools that are available to them.
Well, when you talk about that, like PTSD 101, Jo, what is something that you really wish that people watching knew or understood more about PTSD and mental health in the community?
I think that's an amazing question, and thank you for asking. I think that there's still this misconception that PTSD is an emotional disorder, that they can just shake it off, like just put your mind to it and it'll go away. But really, PTSD is a physiological change in the brain, which puts them into this hyperreactive part of the brain, the sympathetic nervous system, that fight or flight that we hear about, and that's what they live with every day. Mm-hmm. Their brain is unable to come back down and be in the normal mode. And so little things in the home, like when that 4-year-old spills his milk, Dad loses it, Mom loses it, and it's not a threatening situation. Right. It's their response. And that is impacting these small little brains in the home.
Well, Joe, it's just nothing short of remarkable, the way that you've been able to help these first responders. And if somebody would like to learn more about the Chip Terry Fund for First Responders and get in contact with you, how can they do that?
We're on the web. We have a website. It has our contact information. There is an email address, and I answer every email personally. We see each and every one. I talk to every individual who reaches out that is in need of help, and we basically give them the resources they need to move forward. If they can't afford it financially, that's where we come into play and help finance it for them.
Well, it's just absolutely wonderful work. Joe Terry with the Chip Terry Fund for First Responders. Thank you so much for all the good work you do and for sharing it with us here on Cincy Lifestyle.
Thank you for having me.